Adds to a Lexus ES 330 2005 with 3.3 liter engine, VVTi. Now we're gonna replace the valve cover gaskets. We're gonna have to remove this cover first. Alright, like so. I mean, the video is it's playing by itself. Alright, so if you have any questions how to do certain thing in the video, just ask me, put it in the comment box, and as soon as possible I'm gonna answer your question. I just want to say we're gonna start by disconnecting the battery, okay, because we're gonna disconnect a few sensors such as the MAF sensor and the throttle sensor. Alright, I just want to say thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like the video, share it, and like I said, if you have any questions, just put in the comment box. Anything related to this video, if you have a better technique, a better way to do it, just put it in the comment box, let me know, so I learn too. You feel me? As tool. Now all we're gonna do is disconnect hoses, unscrew a few bolts. Most of them are you can hit them with the 10mm socket. Alright, use a plier so you can hit the clamps, the hose clamps. Alright, there's 3 bolts that are holding the manifold intake, or intake manifold, whatever you want to call it. They're located like in a pretty tight location, but it's not going to be a problem if you have a small hand. I'm gonna try not to talk too much so I don't distract you. Okay. Now we're gonna hit these nuts with poles with a 10mm socket. Okay. Once we do that, pull towards you the bracket, and then you're gonna have access to the bolts that hold the intake manifold. Alright, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2 nuts on each side. There's a hole under a hose under the intake manifold. Okay, try to disconnect it with a pry bar if you can reach it with the fingers. Put that bracket to the side. Now, like I said, there's 3 bolts in the back. That's one. There's another one right next to it. It's a 12. You can you hit it with a 12mm socket or ratchet, and that's the other one right next to it, and that's the other one on the other side. That's a 14mm wrench or socket. But I think you can hit the one on the left side with a wrench, 14mm wrench. Like I said, disconnect the hoses. So it doesn't bother you when you pull up the intake manifold, because you're gonna have to pull it up once you lose all the bolts. There's the other bolt that is holding it from the back. That's a 12mm socket or wrench. Once you lose all these bolts and nuts, that's the other hose that I was telling you. You can lose that clamp with the fingers and then push the hose back with a pry bar or long flat screwdriver. Once you do that, pull the intake manifold up and then to the side so you can work on the valve cover. Now on the valve cover, you have the coils for the spark plugs. You have 3. They're being held by bolts. Hit those bolts with a 10mm socket. These are the brackets that hold the intake manifold. Okay. The wiring is being held on the valve cover with these 3 nuts. Hit those nuts with the 10mm socket. Disconnect the coils. Remove the bolts that are holding the coils with a 10mm socket. Remove the coils. And since you are there, you can do a tune-up by changing the spark plugs. Since you are there, down there, feel me. And the valve cover is being held by, I want to say 8 bolts, 4 on each side. Hit those bolts with a 10mm socket. That's one right there. The other one. That's the other one right there. And the other one's on the corner. Right there. And it's the same on the other side. Okay. Remove these holders. Put it to the side. So you can start loosening the bolts that hold the valve cover. Like I said, I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for those that I did it already. And if you have any questions how to do this job faster, just put it in the comment box. If you have any ideas, any suggestions, just share it, and put it in the comment box. I will appreciate it. This job probably I had to do both, the valve cover in the back and the valve cover in the front. So I want to say this job is gonna take you probably like 2 hours max, 3 hours, let's say 3 hours. Okay, now we're removing the bolts that hold the valve cover. These brackets, you can move it like so. If to have access to the bolts that hold the valve cover, it's easier if you get it out of your way. Now, once you remove the bolts that hold the valve cover, pry the cover with the flat screwdriver, like so. The wiring, you're gonna have to play with it. The wiring in the back, because that's kind of tight right there. Okay, so you're gonna have to pull it towards you and push it back to remove the valve cover. Once we remove the valve cover, that's a gasket right there. The gasket was old, it was toasted, so we're gonna replace it. That's why the leak. That's the valve cover. We're gonna change the O-rings or the gaskets, the O-ring gaskets also. All that comes in a kit. Now we're gonna clean where the valve cover sits, where the valve cover gasket sits. We're gonna clean all of that. For that, you can use a blade, and if it's not that dirty, just wipe it with a rag. Now there's some cracks that are the connections. When you put the valve cover back, before that you're gonna have to pull some seal for valve cover gaskets. Seal is like a glue, something like that. So just put it in the cracks, in the connections, in the unions, put it there. Now this is how you remove these gaskets, the O-ring gaskets, whatever you want to call it. Come from behind and push it out like that. And that's what you gotta do with all of them. That's the easiest way to remove them. Alright. Once you remove them, try to clean that space right there. Now we're gonna put the new gaskets, the O-ring gaskets or whatever you wanna call it. We'll put it back facing that way. That side gotta face up, and it's okay if you hit it with the rubber mallet or rubber hammer, whatever you want to call it. Now you put it on like so. Once you do that, put the valve cover gasket. If the valve cover gasket doesn't attach to the valve cover, try to put some grease all the way around in the gasket, so it stays in the valve cover when you put it back. And like I said, that's the way you put everything back. It just the procedure goes in reverse. That's all you gotta do. It's easy like that. It's 1, 2, 3. It's gonna take you 3 hours for both valve cover gaskets and the intake, and that's it. I have to say thank you all for watching. for taking the time to watching and learning with me. Thank you for subscribe to my channel. If you didn't do it now, please. Hit the button, the like button, hit it. And if you have any questions, like I said, just put in the comment box. Any questions, any suggestions, any ideas, any ways to get this job done faster, just put it in the comment box. Alright, and I'm just gonna leave it right here. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.